This is Python's Paradise. This is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena, straight out of Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada, boasting a beautiful Toronto background behind me. I will be in Toronto in August for Fan Expo, and I'll be in Toronto and Niagara Falls in October for Frightmare in the Falls. But folks, here we are on July the 18th, 10 days after me turning 54, folks. And folks, we have a wonderful return guest come on the show today. Yes, this is her sixth time on here. There's a rare breed of guests that put up with me that many times. They have high pain tolerance, folks. I absolutely love this woman. I don't follow wrestling a lot now, although I got to admit, have a little bit of a crush on Liv Morgan, so I kind of been following her. But otherwise, Liv Morgan is a female wrestler, and I'll tell you, folks, I love the female division in wrestling today, but my viewing of female wrestling goes back a long time ago. Yeah, folks, because I remember Wendy Richter and how impressed I was. She was doing steel cage matches before you could ever imagine females doing steel cage matches. But folks, we have Wendy Richter, of course, is the one that collected all the pigtail hairs of my guest today. Yes, she's got those like trophies on her wall.
I'm sure she does.
Folks, I give you my buddy, my pal. I love this woman. Welcome, Princess Victoria.
Hey, everybody. Greg, thank you so much for having me on so many times. I love doing podcasts with you. You just make it so light and so easy. It's not even funny.
I
You know,
love your outfit. Like you are classy tonight. You're is that blue or purple? I believe it's blue, right?
I got blue. Oh, here.
Yeah, let's look at that. That looks oh nice. Ah, wolf.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I have gotten seriously into wolves lately. Um,
Well, I know
but
you get chewed out by Jim Cornette enough times. You're into wolves.
right, I need some protection.
That's right. But I mean, look at the earrings and the necklaces. I love that. That is so cool. You made those, didn't you?
I made the choker. I cannot take credit for the earrings.
Mhm.
I actually bought them from a native shop on Etsy,
Etsy,
and
yep.
I've got a choker that matches them and very reasonable prices. I wish I could remember which shop I bought it from, but it was. I mean, when you get earrings like you don't get these out of a machine. This is hands on, handmade, and I love it. Oh, Lord, you've got my love there.
It's the Iron Sheik. The Iron Sheik. He wants to put you in the camel clutch and make you humble.
Oh, God, I love you, Greg. You are so awesome.
Well, you know that Leilani Kai and Judy Martin were called the Glamour Girls. I know
Which,
secretly the
well, well,
secretly the
well, go ahead.
I was going to say secretly we all know that the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov were the Glamour guys.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
aren't you glamorous when you wear a pair of boots like this?
No kidding. I don't know how he walked in those things. I do
I don't
not.
know how he walked. Period.
Right?
Oh, we love the Iron Sheik. By the way, look what I'm wearing.
I love it. I did the figure of me was done by the artist who does the Legends card,
Mm-hmm.
and then the That is my authentic uh, signature. I was playing with Photoshop, and I ended up putting my signature in there, and I blew it up to where I got individual pixels, and that was I had the shirt made with the autograph, so that anybody who has that T-shirt, you got my authentic autograph. And by the way, I'm getting ready to order more, so y'all get your wallets out. Christmas is coming. And you mentioned Leilani Kai and Judy. I want everybody to know we're going to be at the gathering. Me, Tom Strasdas, my yoga, my DDPY instructor, the author of my book, and the artist. We're all four going to be right there. Just look for our banners. And we're all four looking forward to the gathering.
Yeah, I always love seeing these video images of Judy Martin and Leilani Kai coming across Jimmy Hart, who managed them as the Glamour Girls. And I don't know what Jimmy Hart is on, but he does not look 82 years old. And
No,
he's got the where does he get his energy?
I think he's a wizard.
I'm gonna tell you, that guy's still got it going on. I don't like kudos to him. I mean, God bless
No
him.
kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. I think he found the fountain of youth, and he's keeping it a secret for himself.
Hmm.
And he needs to share with the rest of us.
Speaking of Sharon, look what else I got here.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
my first book. I neglected to put a picture up of my second book is coming out.
Yeah.
Yep, that would I love that photo because it's like, come here, little girl.
Well,
I
that's not what this is. This is her saying, "Oh, Jim Cornette, can you come on up and get in this picture with me, Jimmy? Come on. I love your suspenders, Jimmy."
oh Lord God, Greg, I'm gonna say it again. I love you. You are so much fun.
You know what? I was gonna say, before we get into your book, I was gonna say I had some wrestling. I had you on last year, but I had some wrestling related interviews last year, and I got this from Big Rubber Guys, and boy, this turned out really, really nice.
Oh wow,
Bruiser Brody.
no kidding.
Yeah, I have
I'm
Barbara Goodish on.
oh is not Barbara the most beautiful person you have ever met?
You want
And she has
you
told me the story of the day that he died. And for her to be still standing with what she went through and what she has found out, that woman is awesome. And she gives the best hugs, Greg. I've already told her she's going to be at the gathering, and I've already told her I need a Barbara hug because I
you
haven't
do
had
me a
one since
favor?
last year.
Give
Yes,
her a
sir.
hug from me too, please.
I will. I will. Not a problem.
You want me to
She
tell you something? I'm mighty proud of that interview. And I'm not saying that to pat myself in the back, but when I first had her on here before we started recording, I asked her if she felt comfortable talking about her husband's death because so many people, that's all they want to talk about.
they don't want to talk about Barbara. They don't want to talk about Brody's run in wrestling. It's that one
You
thing
want
they
me to
want.
tell you something? I was
Yes,
listening to the interview back. His murder did not come up on my interview until 65 minutes in.
beautiful,
Uh,
beautiful.
I was like, wow, I had that much stuff to talk about. And I think my favorite part was early in the interview where we talked about how they met and how she found out what ribbing was all about.
That's my girl. I love Barbara so much. She's, like I said, she's a breath of fresh air, and probably, if not one of the strongest woman I personally know, because she's like me. My husband died in 2008, and I have not dated since then. I mean, when you get the best, there's just no sense in looking. And Barbara's the same way. She
Did
loves
you
that
say
man
this
so
was the
much.
best?
Ah, you make things so easy, Greg.
Well, I know that Barbara has one of these because the day this arrived, I texted her and I said I took a picture of this and sent it to her and yeah, she already has one of these.
Well, you need to send me a link to the guy that did that, because that is awesome. I mean, that is so very well. There's no doubt who this is. Where you can look at some of the ones that have been put out, and you're going, who is that? Even though they've got, their outfits on, they all look the same. That looks like Brody.
Yeah. Well, they're doing the big rubber guys. They've then they're Etsy on XOX Etsy on random treasures because they
Text
did. Here's
text
one I
that
got
to
from
me.
Random Treasures, and I guess it's a female that's doing them, but I get this Kurt Hennig.
I met his wife last year at CAC, and I met his son.
Yeah,
Ooh, I started purring when I saw his son.
I should see if she'll come on the
looks
show.
just
Mr.
looks just
Perfect.
like his dad, just like
Yeah,
his dad. And I was able. I had I spent a lot of time with his wife and son at CAC, because it was the first time they had been. And I told her, I, I told her, I said, a lot of the guys, they were out, they were doing things they shouldn't be. I said, but let me tell you what, your husband wasn't one of them. And I was proud to be able to tell her that. And when I said that, she got tears in her eyes, and so did I. Um, to, she truly loved Kurt, and Kurt truly loved her. You know,
he was
so
quite the
that,
ripper, I hear.
uh huh, uh
I
huh,
heard, I heard a story.
ah, a story about Kurt. Come on now.
Well, this is the funniest one. He was on an airplane and he was with Yokozuna. You know how big Yokozuna was.
Right.
And the story as I heard it, Kurt Hennig offered Yokozuna a chocolate bar. What he didn't tell him is that it was laced with laxative.
Oh, Lord have mercy. The
And
X-Lax rib.
you're on a plane and Yokozuna couldn't fit in the washroom.
Oh,
Stewardess had to lay newspapers down for him to take a crap.
oh my God. See, now the worst, I never did the X-Lax rib, but I did, and I can't remember what the name of the guy was. He was a newbie in the Pacific Northwest, and he was known for pulling ribs. I mean, he walked into our dressing room and started pulling ribs, that's a no-no. You got to earn your right. When I was in the Pacific Northwest, you earn your right. And so me and Rip Oliver, he had he had stepped out to go talk to Elton Owens or something, but Rip Oliver put me on his shoulders, and I super glued this guy's boots to the ceiling. And the look on his face was, "Where's my boots? Where's my boots?" And Rip just nonchalantly looks at him and went, And nobody would give him a lift to get up and get his boots. He had to go to the ring with no boots that night.
Wow.
Oh, we had fun, so much fun back in the day. I really miss it. I can't say that I'd like to be there, like to have not broke my neck, but if I hadn't, I wouldn't have my son and I wouldn't have met my husband Jack. So I'll take the broken neck 10 times a day to keep those two men in my life.
Well, I think Jim Cornette said you were a pain in his neck. Actually, I was going to tell you another individual I had on here last year too, and I had such a wonderful time talking to this guy. I had Harley Race's son Justin on here.
I haven't met Justin yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about him. I've
Yeah.
heard, yeah, yeah, and I'm sure he had some dad stories to tell.
Oh, yeah. He's writing a book, and it's probably about those common phrases he heard out of his dad. It was called don't tell your mother."
Right?
Like
I,
apparently Harley Race would be the kind of guy that would show up to the school and have his son brought to the office, and he'd be like, "Yeah, you got a dentist appointment today or something like that." And they'd end
right.
up going fishing. Don't tell your mother.
I actually, when my, that's funny because that's the first time I've heard that. When I was running my thrift shop, and my son was, I had to pay for him to go to the school in the city because we lived way out in the country, and the school was like 3 blocks from my store. It was usually on a Wednesday because that's the slowest day for any business.
Mhm.
I'd do the same thing. I'd go up to the office and said, John told you he's got a dentist appointment today, right? Oh no, he didn't. I said, please get, I need him out here now because his dentist appointment is in 10 minutes. And this was at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I already had the fishing poles and the crickets and the worms in the car, and we'd hit the Nottoway River. That boy, he was still in a carrier the first time I took him fishing. You know, you have to imagine, me in a bathing suit and shorts, and I'm carrying this baby in one arm, and I've got the fishing poles and the tackle in the other arm, and we'd stay there all day. He loved it. So that doesn't surprise me about Harley. Harley was a very good man,
Yeah.
and he never showed the side of him in the dressing room that Justin described to you. He was always, he had to be Harley Race in the dressing room, you know.
I've got a
But
dressing room story, and I had it actually confirmed to me as well.
right,
But we're talking about WrestleMania 3, which I don't
right,
I don't think WrestleMania 3's been topped in terms of a wrestling event.
right.
WrestleMania 3 was that. I have never seen better than Steamboat versus Savage. I mean, what a
Oh,
great match.
really? Yeah.
However, in that at WrestleMania 3, Harley Race took on the Junkyard Dog in a loser match, must bow match. And we got talking about various wrestlers that were there. And Justin says, because we are talking about Jake the Snake was going to be there with Alice Cooper in his corner when he took on the
Oh,
Honky Tonk Man. And
oh,
yeah, and he says to me, he goes, "Oh, you want to hear a Jake the Snake story?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well," he said, Jake was in special locker room area with Alice Cooper to get ready for their match. And
right.
he said, Harley came by and says to Jake, he says, "I need to borrow your snake for a minute." So Harley Race would pick that snake up and he would walk out into the locker room area, and the junkyard dog would be seated with his back to him, completely naked, by the way, sitting on this bench. And Harley Race would just let the head of that snake just touch Dog's shoulders. Justin said he had never seen a guy the size of the junkyard dog move that fast on tiptoes before. But he said his dad had junkyard dog cornered in the shower area,
Oh
and
my God.
Harley Race just let that snake down on the entryway of the shower. And
Right.
he said all you could hear was junkyard dog screaming, "Jake, come and get this fucking snake!" Well, I had the pleasure of meeting Jake the Snake last year at Frightmare in the Falls. And
Oh, and was he with Cheryl?
yeah, yeah.
Did you notice the way his eyes dance when he looks at? I
The
am.
same way when you looked at the Iron Sheik, I know.
Well, of course. No, I think Jake had one up on me there. Um, I was. I had heard that DDP had gotten a hold. Diamond
Yes, he
Dallas
did.
Page
Yeah.
had gotten a hold of Jake, and I know there's a documentary out there. I haven't had the pleasure of watching it yet. Uh, but what he did for Jake, he we were all we all figured, that's it. We all figured the next thing that we were going to hear was Jake was gone. And
Jake
when
just turned 71 this year, so he is caught up
he
to
has,
Hulk Hogan. He's caught up
yeah,
to Hulk Hogan and Paul Orndorff, both of whom are deceased, unfortunately.
unfortunately, yes. But I was at this thing that birthday of the champions that Eric Nelson runs every once in a while, and I didn't know Jake was going to be there. And I came out of the room I was in, and I went by the main place, and here's Jake, and I looked over, and there was Cheryl, and you could just see this thing between them. It was so beautiful to see those two back together, and thank God for Dallas and DDP Wide. We all figured Jake was gone. We all did. And I looked at Cheryl. I said, "Cheryl, can I hug your husband?"
Hmm.
And I walked up and I put my arms around him. She said yes, because that's, you got to show. I have never hugged anybody before asking their wife, "Is it okay?" That's just respect. And she said, "Of course." And I went over and I put my arms around Jake, and I whispered in his ear and I said, "Jake, you can't go anywhere yet. We all need you." And to see what him and Cheryl are doing, it is so awesome. You know, their love is very akin to me, and I'm turning into a woman here, really. Very akin to me and Jack, my husband Jack. I mean, it's there, it's in the air, you can feel it, and you can so see it when they look at each other.
Well, it's
It's
interesting because when I approached Jake and I brought this story up that Justin Race told me,
uh
Jake just kind of grins and he nods and says, "True."
that's Jake. True story. Yep, that happened.
And I had Dusty Wolf on back in May, and he was an enhancement talent. And I talked to him about this, and he said, "Oh yeah." He said Dog was afraid of that snake. He said that there's he says it wasn't uncommon for dog to be like curled up in a fetal position somewhere.
You never let the boys know your biggest fear because they are going to play on it. The ribs we used to pull on each other back in the day, 99% of them were fun ribs. It's not like the ribs that they're pulling today about defecating in somebody's bag. If somebody did that to me back in the day, my favorite saying was, I might not whoop your ass, but you're going to know I was there. And I let them know straight up, you do this in my bag, you won't see me coming. I'm going to step out of the shadows and your ass is mine. I never had many ribs pulled. Of course, we have to go to Ted DiBiase. Did I tell you the Ted DiBiase story?
You might have evolved Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. He got me good on that one. I mean, I'm sitting there watching the door, and I'm trying to iron this dress, and my hands are shaking. And he also got me, and this is a combination with Teddy and Junkyard Dog. He was such a sweetheart and such a gentleman. And this is when Bill Watts, he had bought himself a new car and he gave, I believe it was the BMW to Junkyard Dog, gave it to him. Didn't sell it to him, gave it to him. Well, Dog comes from my sort of background, you know, government housing, food stamps, commodities, all of that. We were so far on the wrong side of the tracks, you couldn't hear the train. And Teddy talked me into doing this rib on Dog. Well, I didn't know that this was his first nice car, and that was his wife was number two, his car was number one. And when I went to a town, I always either there was people there that I knew from the Pacific Northwest, or a phone call had been made, and they would make sure that I was in a caravan going to the town, going to the venue, going to the motel. And Teddy talked me into, we're in the caravan. Dog is the last one in line. We were the front of the caravan, so if we broke down, there were 5 cars coming behind us. Somebody was going to stop. Well, this day I was I was at the last of the line in front of Dog. And I pulled the car over. Velvet jumps out. I pop the hood. She's got her hand on the hood. And of course, Dog being Dog, he pulls over. Well, as soon as he pulls over, Velvet slams the hood and I peel out and I peppered that car with gravel because I didn't have a clue how he felt about that car. I had to hide from Dog for the next 3 weeks. As much as a gentleman as Dog was, I had to hide from the dog for 3 weeks because I messed with his baby.
Well, I had the pleasure of I met two wrestlers last year. Fan Expo, I met Sting. And it was
Ah,
the yeah, it was the last time he was doing wearing the war paint for the
right,
conventions. Yeah.
right.
I got my younger brother the autograph and I did a photo op, or not photo op, a photo at his table with him. So
Nice.
yeah, so I got a picture at his table with Sting. And Sting was a very nice guy. I really liked him, and I don't like how WWE treated him,
Right,
Sting finally came in and he had that WrestleMania match with Triple H.
right.
Why Triple H had to win that, I don't know. Because I think it was Jim Cornette. I think put it back. It was either Jim Cornette or Roddy Piper, but one of them had said uh, Sting should have won that match. They could have had a year of selling merch on Sting, and then the
That was
following year give the fans what they really wanted to see, which was Sting versus Undertaker. But
right.
because WWE had such an ego, they and Triple H in particular, who I have no respect for, Sting ended up losing that, and I'm really pissed. And don't get me started on Triple H because I don't care what anybody says. He slept his way to the top. That
Right.
that's where I'm gonna stand on him, you know?
Well, I, the one thing, and I always say we can have a different opinion on a subject, and you and I will always be friends because we talk it out, right?
Yeah.
I don't care who you vote for. That's not my problem. I mean, that's the way we are. And the one thing that I can say that is good that is coming out, and I hope I'm right, is they're going back to wrestling with the women. They have quit doing these and it's not TNA, the company, TNA that was installed. Um, and uh, there's and we talked about this earlier. I don't mark out much. Everybody knows that. I don't mark out that often. If you're in the ring and you can make me mark out, you've had one hell of a match. Well, I'm a mark for Rhea Ripley. I love her style. I love how she wrestles, how she presents herself. She is so totally old school. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. Hey, Rhea, by the way, if you're listening, I'm waiting to meet you. I can't wait. Um, but the one thing I saw Rhea do that so sold me for her being old school is they were in Maryland. And in Maryland, you park your car here up on the hill, and then you've got to walk down this driveway under the building to get in. And I saw Rhea walking down there, and there was this little girl who was hollering, "Miss Rhea, Miss Rhea, Miss Rhea." And she tried to dodge the security guards, to get to Miss Rhea. And she got caught, and Miss Rhea stops and she looks at them. She said, "You let that little girl come here." She said, "That's enough." And she sat there and she signed that baby girl's autograph, which tells me she's got old school brains.
Yeah.
It's a fan. You don't make you, the fans make you.
I
And
like
and
Rhea Ripley too.
yeah. Oh,
Although I got to admit, I've been crushing out on Liv Morgan.
yes, I know. We've all heard it.
Oh my,
Live,
like
run, live, run.
oh my goodness. Anytime like and I don't pay attention to wrestling right now, but the feud between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, that actually have me invested.
and and isn't that over what is his name? The
Dominic
boyfriend.
Mysterio?
Yeah, no, the boyfriend.
Yeah, Dominic Mysterio, Rey
Oh,
Mysterio's
okay.
son. And I got to admit, I've heard good things about him backstage too.
Right.
You know,
Right.
he plays a great heel,
And the
but
way that he was able to go from Rey Mysterio is one of the biggest baby faces in the world.
mhm.
But he did this exactly when he slapped his mother. I wanted to go through the TV, you know, when he started talking crap to her, I mean, if I had been front row, bulldog time.
Yeah. But I gotta tell you, like, I would probably get goosebumps if I met Liv Morgan. Like,
Oh, and then now see, if you have to tell me when you're going to meet Liv, because I want to be there so I can mop up the puddle in the ground that you're going to leave.
yeah, yeah. Liv Morgan's my wrestling crush. You know,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, Rhea is mine.
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
I don't blame you. I like Rhea Ripley as well. You know, I gotta show you something though, because I met Sting,
right?
and then at Frightmare in the Falls, I met
Oh, sweet.
Jake the Snake Roberts and Cheryl Roberts. I got them both to sign that.
Oh, that is awesome. I like I said, you have never seen, and I smile a lot now. It's taken me a while, but I smile a lot now. You have never seen me smile as big as I smiled watching Cheryl and Jake.
Well, except when you're seeing Jim Cornette, you smile
Of
big, you know.
course, of course. Everybody's got a mark out on corny, you know.
And I did a photo op too with Jake. Look at that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at the smile on his face.
Yeah. He was the
I
first
mean,
one I met too when I went there. So,
right,
yeah.
right. And we were talking earlier about the price of autographs. People have to understand that it's not the wrestlers that's charging those
Oh, I
prices.
know that.
It's
Actually,
the vendor that's bringing them in. And see, like me, I'm going to the gathering. I'm going to have, I, I sign, if you got something that you want me to sign, it's $10, an autograph. My 8x10s are $20 autographed. Two you are just plain. And then the book that's coming out, Fighting the Wrong Side of the Sun, Becoming Princess Victoria, that is going to be $30 for the paperback, autographed by both me and Tom Strasdis, the author. And then that's the paperback. The hardcover is going to be $45. And we're on a limited supply because we're flying in. So when people get to the gathering on Friday, you better get to my table because we fully expect to sell out the first day.
yeah. No, you mentioned price of autographs. I'm going to tell you something that's really like I started doing the convention scene in 2017 when I was first invited. And I haven't seen the stuff then that I'm seeing now, but I don't understand when people sign. I don't think it matters what a person signs. It should be the one price. But right now they got it, 8x10s one price, bulky this price, this item one price. One person that come under fire was Debbie Dunning from Home Improvement because she had a thing down. This
It's
came
it
under
was that Tim's wife,
Debbie
Debbie Dunning.
Dunning. No, no, no. That was the woman that was part of the show, the Tim the Tool Man show there.
I know that. Yeah, that's why I said, was that Tim's
No,
wife?
no. I mean, part of the when he was doing the thing with Richard Kern,
Right.
and she was the female that would come out,
Oh,
during
okay,
their show
okay.
within a show. I guess she had a thing on her table and she come under fire for it. Uh, where she had this breakdown of autograph prices and she was charging $20 for a hug. And I'm sitting
Are
there thinking,
you kidding me?
do you know that's physical affection? Charging money for physical affection, there's a word for that.
Right. that's called prostitution.
And you want
But
me to tell you what I
twenty
say to that?
dollars, $20 for a hug. Add $10 to it, and you get my 8x10 autographed and a picture with me. And if you want me to hug you, it's there for free.
Well, you
Maybe I'm
want me
too
to tell you
cheap.
something? That
Huh?
same that same convention I met Sting at,
Right.
I met the absolutely lovely, and if you ever get a chance to meet her, do it, because she's glorious,
Right.
lovely person, Heather Locklear.
Oh, I love her.
Well, she made a great impression on me, but you know what? I got a hug from Heather Locklear for free.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm
Exactly
not going
my
to pay
point.
$20 to somebody when I got from Heather Locklear for free.
No kidding. You
Yeah.
know, you would have rather paid Heather Locklear the $20. But
Yeah.
no, it is getting, the autographs are getting ridiculous. And I mean, like at the gathering, like I told you, mine are $20 for an 8x10 that I made. That, my 8x10 that I'm signing for you. Now if somebody walks up and they want me to sign their own item, it's $10 an autograph, which
But
I
here's the
don't.
thing. It's these people that are selling them online that's ruined. Because those to me, they're not fans. They're the profit.
They're all, they're all, yeah, they're entrepreneurs. They're
I'm
there to
going to
make
give you
money.
some advice though. I'm going to
Okay.
give you some advice.
No, I
And
won't kiss.
I
No, I won't kiss Jimmy in public.
oh, you're going to kiss Jim Cornette in public. Yes, that's going to happen. You know, um, I've told my actress friend Lisa Langlois this. I've told other people this. You want to avoid them selling your autograph?
To
Pers
Ralph.
Personalize it. Now,
Right,
me, I like having my stuff personalized.
right.
Yeah,
But people who are selling them do not want it personalized, because that takes out 90% of the profit. Who or 100%, because unless your name is Ralph, who wants an autograph to Ralph from Roddy Piper? You know?
yeah. I
You
wish
know,
I could have met Roddy Piper. I've been very blessed. I'm still in touch with his daughter, Ariel.
Teal,
I think she's gorgeous too, you know?
right? You know what a hair lip dog says, right?
What?
Mark, 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 Mark.
Yeah. I wasn't able to get her on last fall. Normally I have her on every year, but last fall I wasn't able to because she was wrestling in Oregon all last, so I
Oh,
wasn't able to.
wow.
But yeah, but
Oregon, yeah, I wish she had been there. She was, 40 years older and would have been there when I came up, um, because she would have been a good addition, and I can just see Piper walking around with his chest blown out, having to walk sideways through the door because his head was this big. You know, I'm sure he's very proud of Teal. He's very proud of Colt.
I've
His
had
kids
Colt
and his,
and Teal on here. Yeah.
yes, yeah, his life was his family. And I can say that because Roddy and I were very, very good friends.
Well, I
And
do.
by the way, the story about me and Pipe, it's in the new book. Buy the book.
Well, I do know that I told this to Ariel when I had her on the show. I read an excerpt from your book to Ariel during that interview. And it was the story when Ric Flair was in the pool and whatnot, and when Ariel was going to be
And it was
named Chelsea Marie.
right. What did she say when you told her that?
She had never heard that before.
I was there. It did happen. Unfortunately, pretty much everybody but Flair is gone. Offa's gone. Sika's gone. Roddy's gone. Now, I'm at a table for 5 people, and the only person left alive is me and Ric Flair. That, means I'm getting old. Or you can look at it this way: wrestlers, and I'm one of them, put their life on the line when they're in that ring. I mean, I'm not the only one that's in my shape. And, I told you about DDP, why, Diamond Dallas Page's yoga and Tom Strasdis. If it wasn't for them, this is the first time in 5 years, Greg, that I have been able to plant myself a garden, to grow flowers, to, green beans and tomatoes and all that. And it's all because of DDPY yoga.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not advertising for them. I'm just telling you what they tell you is true.
Yeah.
Because I'm the perfect example. When I started doing this, I was stuck in a chair 9 hours out of 10. And when I started, when Thomas Strazis got a hold of me, I was I was physically completely disabled. If I wa Now, you know how wide and long a porch step is for when you put up the wood porch step. I would have to hug onto a pole, one of the 4x4s that held the porch up, to walk down them steps. Today, I only have to put one hand on it and I can walk down and not worry about falling. I meeting Tom and him, it was all meant to be. He has done so much for me on top of writing my book. He is Tom has a aunt that is Aunt Sue.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to tell you, Greg, do not get on Aunt Sue's bad side, and she has to come looking for you, because this woman can not only find a needle in a haystack, she can find the flea. She found, now, I've never known my dad. I never, it was one of those things. She found, unfortunately, a mugshot of my biological father. Now, anybody who gets close to me knows I have what I thought was a scar in this eyebrow. My father has the same scar. It's not a scar, it's a birthmark. She found out so much, and this new book is nothing like the first one. This one has more content on my wrestling career, my life, the whole 9 yards. It is, to give you an example, Tom sent me the first 6 chapters. My plan was, Vicky's plan was, okay, I'll read a couple chapters here, I'll read a couple chapters there. I started on the first chapter and read straight through the sixth, and I felt like a third party looking in. That I couldn't, that I was, I'm the person they were writing about, but it seemed like they were writing about somebody else.
Well, I heard in this book we're finally gonna find out who you loved more, the Iron Sheik or Jim Cornette. I heard that we're finally gonna get the answer to that. Are you gonna give a definite answer? Because I heard that that was the biggest portion in the book.
Yes, sir. I will give a definite answer. It's in the book. You got to buy the book to find out. Thank you, Greg. That gives me another plug for my book.
Oh man, I had to do it.
God, I love doing interviews with you. You are so much fun. Anybody who turns down an interview from you are an idiot.
Well, there's
Because
a
you
few
just make,
idiots out there. Yeah.
well, they need to quit being idiots and text you back because you are so much, not only are you so much fun, but you have the knowledge of wrestling. And
You want me to
although
tell
you,
you? I'm going to tell you something I heard the other day, and I thought this was so ignorant. And Jim Cornette went off on this.
oh,
Okay,
well, you
I
know,
want.
Jimmy goes off if the color isn't the right red on his
Well, you
icy
go off
cups.
too. You go off too.
Uh
Because when I
oh.
heard it, I wasn't happy about it. I didn't know the actor Paul Walter Hauser wrestled. I knew him from movies like I, Tonya and the new Naked Gun movie and stuff like that. Entertaining guy, but I didn't know he did any wrestling. But I guess he did some wrestling, and I guess he was marking out to some of today's talent, and he made some comment. I think it
Uh
was
oh.
on X where he was talking about how I think it was AEW. A couple of people were well over and way over and way over. And then he made a crack and said to any of the critics that don't like it, well, it's too, not everybody can be. He made some crack about technique and Nick Bockwinkel. How Nick Bockwinkel got plugged into this, I don't know. And Jim Cornette responded to that, and he said, he called him some name, and he said, "You couldn't park Nick Bockwinkel's car." And then this guy shot back and said that my kids don't wouldn't know who Nick Bockwinkel was, and blah 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 blah. And I'm sitting here thinking, I just sat and watched Nick Bockwinkel in a match on YouTube against Andre the Giant.
Right. Right.
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, if you don't know who Nick Bockwinkel is and you're a wrestling fan, educate yourself because I love watching those old school matches and they are
Right.
entertaining as fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And a lot of the promoters and bookers need to realize, and I've said this before on your show. I have watched matches where they're you know, the crew that does This Is Wrestling. They did We Want Old School Wrestling Back. All of my fans on my page, on my fan page, they're sick of this bumpity bump, 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 bump with no story, no psychology. They want to be brought back into the story. Did I
Yep.
say it slow enough? You
That
know,
was why I was sold on Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. It was the only thing I want that was grabbing that and the fact that Liv is so easy on the eyes, but that helps.
Rhea's not bad on the eyes either,
No,
you know.
no, she's not, but
I'm
Liv
sorry.
tickles my funny bone.
I got Rhea for plus 5 points. You can have Liv.
I'll take Liv.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
Oh my. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you, I this whole attitude, and so many people they think wrestling began with the Attitude Era. I'm like, I was sitting online watching Bruno Sammartino go at it with Larry Zbyszko, and I've had Larry Zbyszko on here, you know.
Larry's a good guy.
Yeah, yeah,
And so is
absolutely.
Bruno. Unfortunately, Bruno um has kind of turned his back on wrestling. And
Well, I can
I kind of,
understand why, but
yes,
Bruno, I'm trying to get. I was supposed to have one of his sons come on here last year, and I don't know whether Bruno's wife had passed away last year or what had happened. They had to Well, they're
cancel.
supposed to reschedule. It just hasn't happened yet. But I
Right.
really want to do a tribute on Bruno on here. But
Yep.
I was invested watching Bruno and Larry Zabisco go at it. They're
Right.
lacking that today. And then
You're
Triple H
la-
turned,
you're lacking the psychology.
yeah,
One thing, and there's something else I have seen. One of the main things Sandy Barr taught me was it doesn't mean if there's 5 people in that crowd or 50,000 or 5,000 people in that crowd, they both get the same intensity. You give them both the same wrestling match because those 5 fans paid just as much for those 5 seats as each one of those 5,000 fans did. And they deserve to get your best. And
yeah.
that's lost now. I have been at indie matches where 20 people have showed up and the guys go, "Oh God, I don't feel like doing this. There's only 25 people out there." Well, guess what, dude? There's 25 people out there. Now make them want to come back next week and they may bring 25 more people,
Mhm.
and these guys today don't get it. They just don't get it. You have to bring the fans into your story. I mean, and I've said this a million times, and I'm sure you heard it a million times. You've got to bring the people into your story because without the people, there is no Princess Victoria. There is no Buddy Rose. There is no Bruno Sammartino. Without those fans, you as a wrestler are nothing. And nobody has preached that to these new guys. And I've seen it personally.
Well,
You know,
you know
and,
what? Triple H is basically any criticism given. He pretty much blames the fans. And I'm like, Triple H, one person, one podcaster calls Triple H the doofus son-in-law. And I really get it. Anytime I hear Bret Hart go off on Triple H, it's like, yeah, I get it. You know?
to hear Bret Hart go off on anybody, and I know Bret well. In fact,
Mhm.
Bret Hart gave me probably, if not the best, one of the best compliments I have ever had in my life. We were talking about how some girls had so much trouble on the road, and I had none. I mean, there was one or two that gave me problems, but I would just tell one of my big brothers what they did, and one of them made a very big mistake, and I actually didn't see him on the show the next 3 weeks I was there because I had told one of my brothers, who at the time was a booker in the territory. He came out. What happened was, did I tell you about the three call story?
You might have, but go ahead. So
All right.
remind me.
And I'm not going to use the guy's name because I understand he's grown up a lot since this happened. Thank God there were no cell phones when we were young, right? But anyway, Bill Bill Watts tells this guy, take her out to the ring. We are in a convention center and there's offices everywhere, and it is literally a mouse maze to get to the central arena. And Bill told this guy, get her out to the ring. So they called my name, and we started walking out. And this guy is taking me on this, mouse maze. Then they called my name a second time. And I'm still on this mouse maze. Then this guy steps into a side room, opens the door, and drops his drawers. Until by the look in your eyes, I have not told you this
You
story.
have told the story,
And
but continue.
anyway, yeah, anyway, he drops his drawers and they call me the third time. For those of you who don't understand what being called the third time means, it means go back to the dressing room, grab your bag, do not change clothes, get in your car, and get out of my territory. And finally, when I looked at the guy and they had called my name the third time, I looked at him when he dropped his drawers, and I use this phrase a lot. I may not whoop your ass, but you're going to know I was there. Get me to the ring. Well, he figured out he'd messed up and he got me to the ring, and Terry Allen, Magnum TA. I I was in the bathroom taking off my makeup, and Terry comes in and he goes like this. And I told him what happened. I did not see that man at a wrestling match in the ring or out of the ring for the next 3 weeks. That's how well I was taken care of.
Magnum TA, yep.
Oh, Terry, Terry and I are brothers by another mother.
Hmm.
Um, everybody says, and they're looking at it, what would have happened if I hadn't broke my neck and Terry hadn't wrecked his car? Where would the two of us be? Because we both were on a shooting star. But Terry's got two beautiful twins, and I've got my son and Jack.
Hmm.
So I don't regret it, and I don't think Terry does either.
Yeah. Well, this year, I was going to say, going back to the convention thing,
Right.
I'm going to be meeting some wrestlers this year because Fan Expo, they've announced John Cena. So I'm looking forward to meeting John Cena. John Cena, he did something to me that was every bit as impressive as they make Hulk Hogan lifting up Andre the Giant, which Hogan was not the first to do.
No, the
Talking to
first one to do that was Harley Race
Justin talked
40
about that
years
too.
ago.
Yeah. Yeah, Harley Race did it. But John Cena in one of the WrestleManias, I think it was WrestleMania 20, is it 25? It might have been, picked the Big Show and Edge both up over his shoulders and dumped them. And I'm like, that's a feat of strength on John
Kidding.
Cena.
I don't care how you look at wrestling. You've got two big guys like that on your shoulder. You got to appreciate that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what, almost 500 pounds?
Well, Big Show enough uh was big enough.
Right.
But then you add Edge on there, and Edge is nowhere the size of Big Show, but still, you know,
He's still right at what, 225?
I don't know, but
But Big Show's got to be what, what, 400?
I don't know, but I know one thing, seeing Cena do that. So I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
meet John Cena at Fan Expo, and then at Frightmare in the Falls. I mean, last year it
Uh-huh.
was Jake the Snake. This year it's Demolition,
Oh,
Axe and
I
Smash.
love, I love Demolition Axe. Can you? I am so impressed by him.
Yeah,
I
Bill
have
Eadie.
watched him. I was watching him on ROH, Wrestling of Honor, or something like that.
Ring
Anyway,
of
the
Honor.
initials. Ring of Honor. There you go. And they had WOH too, which was Women of Honor. And I love Sumi Sakai. That little girl and her grin when she never quit grinning. Um, but when I saw Demolition Axe on ROH and I watched that man move, I mean, you talk about old school.
Yeah.
And I had a chance to meet him. Unfortunately, yes, I'm a mark. I'm a wrestler, but I'm a mark. That's how you start out wrestling,
Hmm.
is being a mark. Because then your whole heart, soul, and brain are invested. And I saw Axe walking out the door, and I looked at Eric and I said, nobody told me he was here. Because I have always, since I watched him on ROH, I have always respected that man. One hell of a wrestler.
Yeah. Yeah. No, so they're going to be at Frightmare in the Falls. So I'm like, yeah,
Oh
that'll be,
man, you
yeah.
might have to send me some information on that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah. By the way,
And
see if
then we could give each other a hug in person.
I was gonna say one figure I should dig up here because
Right, Greg, give me a second. I gotta step out of the picture. I'll be right back.
you go right ahead. I'll search for somebody had a birthday recently. Well, folks, you just hang on here, taking through my action figures. Folks, these are coming back. I love that these are coming back. Look at that Dusty Rhodes. Look at that, you know, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. I love that they're bringing these back. And I'm hoping maybe, I mean, I got a couple Roddy Pipers here, but if I can get them with the kilt, that'd be great, you know? Or go to big rubber guys,
Uh, uh,
folks.
Greg,
Yeah.
you mean I haven't showed you my Roddy Piper?
Well, you know that they're re-releasing, like, look at
Give me
this.
a give me a second.
Okay. Find out where is Jesse. Um, you know, folks, when you're looking for somebody in particular, they're never in the top of the pile, are they? It just
Nope,
never works out that way.
nope, they're at the bottom of the pile.
Well, there's somebody celebrated a birthday recently. Yeah,
Right.
you know they're re-releasing those, right?
No.
Well, look at this. They're re-releasing the first batch they re-released. They re-released the Hulk Hogan,
Uh-huh.
and then they made a John Cena, which I haven't got yet because I had to order this. Look what I ordered.
Ah, my Dusty
Dusty
and his
Rhodes. They
polka
made,
dots.
yeah, he was not in the original line. So, and they made Logan Paul.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the second line, I mean, they've got right now, they've re-released Jake the Snake and they've re-released
Right.
Roddy Piper. And we haven't got them here. So when I go to Toronto, I'm going
Right.
to see if because I've got Jake here, but I would gladly get him again. But I don't have a Piper with a kilt. I've got a couple Pipers here without the kilt. I've got four Terry Funks here. Finally got one with
Ah.
a hat, but I don't have the branding iron yet. So many Terry Funks here, but there's
Terry.
first in particular. I'm trying to find it here. Take a wild guess. Tell me who you think turned 75. Can you figure it out?
I no. A bunch of us. I'm only 65, but I'm working on 75.
I thought
Who
you were
turned
39.
Ah,
Yeah, that's what I heard.
39 with 44 or 39 with 244 years of experience.
Yeah. Just a second. There's one individual I'm trying to find for sure. We got to acknowledge a birthday. Of course, this guy's going to turn 75 later this year.
Ah, Greg.
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
I love those because I know who they are. They all don't have the same face. It's
Yeah.
not like they took the basic, figure and then added a gray wig and called it Greg Valentine.
Well, nobody had a face like Greg Valentine.
No, he had a great face for radio.
Yeah? Oh,
Greg
here we
was a
found
nice
him.
guy.
Here we found him. I found him. You know who turned 75?
Hang on.
And this guy got a new figure too, but he had his announcer wear on when in the new figure.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. The light's reflecting too hard on it. I can't see it.
I know the lights always reflect too hard on this guy.
Is that the Sheik?
Nope.
Who is that? I can't.
I can't believe it. Oh my
No,
goodness.
no, I really can't see it. The light is just now it's too dark. Is that Ventura?
Yeah. Jesse the
Okay.
Bloody Ventura.
Yep.
He turned
Yep. Me
75.
me and Ventura and Wendy Richter went to Gold's Gym in Toronto, right, to work out.
Hmm.
And we got done, we were in kayfabe, baseball caps, her hair pulled back, and we're walking back down the street to where the motel,
Yeah.
and I did a Roddy Piper impression about the interview he did about Buddy Rose, about he had enough room in his belly button for Buddy Rose's brain, a cockroach egg, and the heart of a promoter. Well, I was in full blown mode because the adrenaline and the endorphins had kicked in while I was working out. And Jesse looked at me and he says, "Dang, girl, you do Piper better than Piper does Piper."
There you go.
And
Look at this. It's
I kind of, yep.
one of my many Terry Funks I have.
Oh wow,
I
Terry was
finally got him with
such
a
a good guy.
hat. I got to get him with
Right,
the branding iron now, so I'll have to get a fifth one. So I get that.
right, right.
Yep. Oh man. I've been collecting those, but I do love you got the big rubber guys and you got
Well, I like what Big Rubber is doing because
yeah,
I don't have to guess. I can look at that and see immediately who that is.
yeah.
Some of
Well,
these,
there's XOX on Random Treasures on Etsy, and I guess it's a female that does them because she was the one that did the Kurt Hennig.
right?
You go
Okay,
on there and you type in online XOX Random Treasures, and uh,
right,
and you will see an amazing bunch of. The problem is to get this painted and whatnot. It was kind of pricey, but
right.
the figures look phenomenal.
Yes, they do. She's done a really good job on that. There's none of these jointed army, GI Joe things with the joints here and there. That is really nice.
Well, to me, it's important that they have a good play pose.
Right.
Um, I hate it when they do these figures and their arms are by their side. Like the one they did for Ravishing Rick Rude was terrible because they had his hands down where his trunks are, and his hands were attached. I'm like, how can a kid play with that?
Right,
You know,
right.
like this here is a good play post for Bruiser Brody
Oh,
because they're
that's beautiful.
yeah, you know,
That is absolutely. Have you? Mm,
this is a good play post for the Iron Sheik versus Princess Victoria.
uh huh. Uh huh. Uh huh.
Yeah, he could have you over the shoulder right here, Velvet in a headlock right here.
And he has already lost the match by it being me and Velvet. Mm.
By the
It
way,
is.
I'm honored to be connected with Velvet. She added me on Facebook one night
Oh,
about
are you?
6 months ago.
That says a lot because Velvet doesn't add many people. You're
Well, I was so
probably
honored
in.
when she did.
You're probably in the top 10 of 10 that Velvet does not add anybody. And that says a lot for you.
Well, I
Velvet,
don't, yeah. I
yeah,
don't
I'm
know
just.
whether she's seen our interactions online or what it is,
Oh,
but
I'm sure she has because she actually told me. I told her to block somebody, and she said, "Well, Vicky, you're my eyes and ears out there because I'm not into the wrestling world or the Facebook world, so I'm going to take your advice." And believe me, I protect Velvet. But I am, with her reaching out to you, that says a heck of a lot of what she thinks of you.
I really like Velvet, and I see a lot of her posts up. She's still going. I guess she retired again.
Finally,
Again, I say
finally,
again. She's still not up on Roddy Piper and Terry Funk on the retirement, so but she
right.
retired from but she's still like going out in the garden and cooking this and
This is a woman who carries a stick to scare off bears while she's in the woods looking for berries. Are you kidding me?
well, she should carry a tennis racket like Jim Cornette.
No, she should carry Jim Cornette so she can throw him to the bear. You know, the the only way to escape a bear is to be the second to last.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
and
see her
and
posts on there, yeah.
yeah, if you ever see Velvet fighting a bear, help the bear.
I like I love what women wrestling is right now, but
Oh, I
like I
do
said,
too.
it goes back for me,
Right.
because Velvet was somebody I was an instant fan of first time I seen her. Like she did a cross body where she'd spin around in circles on the opponent. The only other person I've seen
She
do that is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was the only other person I've seen
Well,
do
do
that.
you know where Ricky got it from?
Where'd Ricky get it from?
Velvet. Do you know
Wow.
where Velvet got it from?
Jim Cornette.
No. Mimi Mimi Hagawara in Japan. Velvet brought that here from Japan
There you
and did
go.
such a beautiful job.
You don't
Beautiful
think
job.
you don't think Jim Cornette could do that?
I want to see him try. Love you, Corny.
She does. Actually, let's dwell on that for a minute because I understand when you're promoting your book, your new book, and we're going to get to that. I saw this online. You were looking for Jim Cornette's contact info, and I'm like, I knew it. I called this years ago. You wanted to whisper some sweet nothings to Jim Cornette.
Oh
I
yes,
know.
I wanted to whisper nothing to Jim Cornette. You're absolutely correct. I love you, Corny.
I love Jim
uh,
Cornette too. Yeah.
he's they ain't none like I went to what was it I went to? I went to some show years ago, and Jimmy was up there with his tennis racket and all that. And me being me, he had this all elevated and steps going up and security guards and all that. And I went to go up, and one of the security guards went to stop me. I said, "Go tell Jimmy Princess Victoria is here." As soon as he said it, Jimmy's eyes lit up, and and I got, it was like this bull of a man kind of went, "Oops, I messed up." And I went up and give Jimmy a hug. Jimmy is Jimmy's Jimmy. You're never going to see another person like him.
Well,
Thank
I know
God
why
there's
he's got the
only
tennis
one.
racket. I know
Huh?
why he's got the tennis racket
Why?
because every single one of the female wrestlers he'd have to beat them off of him, you know. They were all the time trying to get his affection.
Yep, yep, yep. And the glamour girls got it all. I
Yeah.
just I just threw you and Judy under the bus, Patty.
You know what? I reached out to Judy Martin for an interview and I got a notification that said that we're connected or something, but I didn't see a response from her or anything, you know. But it's kind of like wow.
I'll tell her. I'll tell her because
Velvet still I'd love to get Velvet on here. She's still not willing to. She keeps saying she doesn't have a story to tell.
oh my
Let me
God, no.
decide that. I bet you
All
I
right.
could get an interview out of her.
Um her hearing is not so good.
All I have to do is say, listen, Jim Cornette said these sweet nothings, and I guarantee you her hearing, she'll hear everything.
And what kind of flowers do you want at your funeral? Red roses, purple lilacs, what do you want at your funeral? I'll make sure they're there.
Yeah, but yeah, I've seen the videos of Judy Martin and Leilani Kai. They'd see Jimmy Hart, and then they showed them going around. They'd see Luke Williams of the Bushwhackers, aka the
Oh,
Sheepherders.
I know who Luke
Yeah,
Luke is one of my brothers.
yeah,
Luke
yeah,
is Luke is one of my brothers from the Pacific Northwest.
yeah.
Um, have we talked about the last time that I met Luke?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. And if I start tearing up, y'all shut up. Um, Vice TV had called me up and wanted me to come for a interview, to do the show about the territories.
Hmm.
Well, the show they were doing was about the Pacific Northwest. Now, back in the old days, if you walked into the motel, which we all tried to stay at the same motel,
Hmm.
um, you'd take your bag to your room, drop it, don't do anything else, go down to the bar or restaurant because that's where everybody was. So I went down, I got there, and to give you an idea of how nice this hotel motel was, their yard ornament was a Porsche. And I went and put my bag down, and I'm getting ready to go into the restaurant. I get to the door of the restaurant, And about 30 to 40 feet away is Luke Williams, No Class Bobby Bass, and Bret Hart. Luke stood up. Now, understand, I didn't even realize the man remembered my name. We're talking about 40 years and 25 pounds heavier. And he stood up and gave me the biggest daddy hug. You know, not one of those that you got to do this. It was like, and then he sat down for 30 minutes and told Bret Hart and Bobby Bass how Velvet and I had earned our stripes as wrestlers because they were up in the crow's nest watching us.
There you go.
And but when Luke grabbed a hold of me like that, and it hit me in my feelings, as people say today, you know, for
Hmm.
him to remember me 40 years, well, 37 years later, meant so much to me, you know. And uh we had such a great round table on the territories. And the guys, you know, a lot of times people will cut you out of the conversation. The guys kept throwing the questions to me. You know, how do you feel, Princess? Blah, blah, blah. And we had Ben Masters and Lynn Denton, the grappler, on there.
Hmm.
But when Luke gave me that hug, you could have bought me for a nickel. You really could have bought, because I didn't even think he remembered who I was, you know?
Hmm.
And Luke is, see, Luke and Butch used to scare the shit out of me when I was a kid. You know, walking out there like this. You know, who are they going to fry and eat now? But for Luke to have done that just made my whole freaking day. Actually, my whole world, you know? And that's what I love about old school wrestling is we were and all are still family. Whether we're wrestling or not, we're still family. I can still pull out of my yard, my car will break down. I can make one phone call and say, who's in the area? I'm broke down at mile marker, whatever. Somebody's gonna come. You know, the song that reminds me so much of who we were was You Find Out Who Your Friends Are. And if you've watched that video, that's exactly how we were. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think that I'm going to screw up his last name, Tom, the guy who helped you with your book, wrote your book.
Can't, yeah, he wrote my book.
Okay, okay, okay.
And
Yeah.
this book, I mean, there was I'm gonna tell on myself now, Greg. Um, Aunt Sue, Tom's aunt, you don't ever want to try to hide from her. You really don't. I mean, I told you earlier, she found the picture with the scar. And the book, it's not like my first book. It my first book was good, and thank God for John Cosper. He did a wonderful job. But this one not only tells my wrestling story, it tells my whole life almost from birth to now. And at one point, I realized that every male in in my family that was associated with me had charges of some kind. And one day he sent me one where my so-called dad, who is not my dad, the name on my birth certificate, was arrested for robbing a grocery store. And I just went, all right, so when are you going to tell me who I'm related to, Bonnie or Clyde? The only person he has found in my family that has no charges is my grandma, Philomena Monahan. She's the only one who has no charges. And the stories in this book, and of course, we had to do the story about Scotty Rushing and his so-called book about Abdullah. And
Yeah, I'm
we
amazed Abdullah is still with us, 85 years old. He's still with us.
he's in the hospital right now.
Yeah.
He had a bed sore on his back that had to be surgically removed. And I keep waiting to hear that, he's well enough to go home. From what I understand, he's still in the hospital. Um, and Abdullah is the way that Tom Strasdis, my DDPY instructor, the author of my book, the artist, got in touch with me. And I thank God every day for Queen Malika and Abdullah putting me and Tom in contact, because it took me a long ways from where I was. I was in here watching my grass grow up to my freaking knees and taller, because I couldn't push a 15-pound electric lawnmower. And because of him, and I'm sure you saw the pictures of my sunny place. You know, I have that this year. Tom has taken me a long way, and I appreciate everything he has done. And the book that he has written about, and he wrote it, not me, he wrote it. We did interview after interview after interview, and he would do it on a Zoom meeting so that he would not make any mistakes as to what I said.
So
What
how
I
many
say,
chapters are donated to the Iron Sheik?
unfortunately, I need the money, and Sheik doesn't.
Listen, everybody, well, I told everybody that they get the exclusive on all the sweet nothings that you were saying over the years about Iron Sheik.
Well, actually, there is an exclusive in the book,
Kissy kissy
and
story?
oh yeah, a little more than kissy kissy. And it's not the Sheik. It's about a very well-known wrestler,
Jim Cornette.
Roddy Piper.
Oh,
Nope, that I have never told before
okay.
because I had my dates messed up and I was not willing to tell the story because I thought it would hurt Kitty and the kids, Colt and Ariel. So I've never told the story before because I wasn't willing to hurt somebody. And through Miss Sue, Tom Strad's aunt, I found out that Roddy and our relationship ended before he married Kitty. So now I can tell the stories, and not and feel, know that I haven't heard anybody doing them, because I wouldn't tell the stories before.
Hmm.
So there are things in this book nobody has heard before. And I'm really proud of what Tom Strasdis has done.
Well,
Very proud.
I want to hear all about the time the Iron Sheik put you in the camel clutch and made you humble.
Nobody has ever made me humble. They might have put me in a camel clutch, but they've never made me humble.
Yeah, yeah. Tom reached out to me because I know you were supposed to come on here last month, and I know I think you had a power outage or something, and
Oh,
stuff come up, and
we didn't have a power outage. We had a tower outage.
oh, okay.
We normally you can go up the hill from my house, maybe 500 feet, and you'll get a signal, because I have to use Wi-Fi where I am, Wi-Fi calling where I am, because Verizon can't find me. And I thought it was just Verizon, but since then I've had other friends, IT, IT&T and all that, who have been here, and they don't get reception either. So everybody was worried about me, because for 5 days nobody had seen me on Facebook. I wasn't answering my phone, all of that. But that wasn't what the problem was. I had no connection. None. I went 5 miles from my house and had no connection to Wi Fi. And then Steve Hatton, God bless, another brother by another mother. Uh, Now he lives 4 hours away, and nobody had heard from me. So um, Tom Strasdis contacted Steve Hatton and told him, "Look, we haven't heard from the princess." And I'm laying in bed one night and I hear this at the door, and I'm going, "Who the hell is at my door at this time in the evening?"
Probably
Because I
Jim
was in
Cornette.
bed. Well, of course, but I was in bed. And I opened the door about this wide, and I looked up. I didn't have my glasses on, and I said, "Steve?" He said, "Yes, ma'am." And I said, "Give me a minute, let me get dressed," because I was in bed. He had driven 4 hours to make sure I was okay, because nobody could get in touch with me.
Oh, wow.
That's who Steve Hatton is. I mean,
Wow, what a great guy.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And when he came in the door, and I got me some cranberry juice and looked at, and I said, "What the hell are you doing here this time of night?" Because if he comes down to Oklahoma, he usually stays at my house, or he at least stops by, and we talk and do the wrestling thing. What's happened to you lately, and then you do left turn, right turn, left turn, and then you get back to the original subject. I said, "What are you doing here?" He said, "Nobody could get in touch with you." And I said, "You drove 4 hours because nobody could get in touch with me?" "Yes, ma'am." I mean, and I went 5 days with no uh uh Wi-Fi to call out. And normally, like I said, you can drive to the hill. I get reception. This time I had we Steve Hatton and I had to drive 5 miles to get reception, and we had to do it on the mobile data. And but to have a friend like Steve that came to check on me like that in the middle, how blessed am I?
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, how blessed am I to have friends like that?
Absolutely. I know Tom had reached out to me because he was reaching out to people that I guess I don't know whether it's on your timeline or what it is on Facebook, but I guess he knew that we were supposed to do an interview. So he had sent me a private message. And so,
Yeah.
so, yep,
Oh, Tom is like my mother. You know, it's like, you haven't been on Facebook for 24 to 48 hours. Are you okay? Yes, Tom, I'm okay. I'm working in the garden and I'm sleeping. I'm okay.
you're
But
working in
for
the garden, sleeping. I hope not both at the same time.
ah, you forgot the main word, Greg. We're working in the garden and AND. You are such a shit.
I
You
try hard.
you you have got to show up at one of the places, or I've got to show up at one of the places where you're doing something.
People have
Because
been asking me, and I was lucky to get to Chiller in New Jersey the one time I did. With
right,
me and my work schedule, you know,
right.
like, and right now I'm working with a hernia, so that's fun. I had one on the right side back in 2000, and now it's my left side. So I'm like,
Oh,
the sequel.
jeez.
Yeah.
Right,
So, and here I'm still going. Like, I work two different cleaning jobs. So I'll go to one starting at 6, and I'm usually doing 10, or not 10, two buildings before I go show up at 10 o'clock to my 8 hour overnight building.
right,
Yeah. And then going into Saturday morning, I have an extra building I do once a week.
right.
So, yeah, I often tell people that, between work and sleep, you're lucky you get me at Fan Expo and Frightmare in the Falls, in Toronto. Another thing with me with traveling, and this was, and I enjoyed doing Chiller in New Jersey, but I'm going to tell you, waiting 3 or 4 hours in the layover in the airport, I was not a big fan of.
Right. Oh, I get it. I mean, I will pay an extra $100 to get a straight through.
Yeah,
It's
like
like when yeah,
I
it's
just
like
like to get on the go train or whatever and just go about my
right,
day, and I do that in Toronto. So I don't know, but I'm not writing off going to any of the conventions in the States. I can't make any promises. I know I got a guest that's told me if I'm ever in California, she has an Airbnb that I could stay in, and I'm like, accepted. I said, the problem is I don't know when or if that'll happen, but
all right. I'm going to give you my personal opinion, which everybody has one.
Mhm.
If you want to see and wrestlers get together and just watch, this is there's not a lot of fans that go there because, and it's called CAC,
Hmm.
California Alley Club. Or I mean
Oh,
Cauliflower Alley Club.
Cauliflower Alley Club, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta come, Greg. You gotta come. You will. It is us just mingling, shaking hands, giving hugs because we don't know who's next. You know, it is more for wrestlers than it is for fans, and you will fit in well where the wrestlers are concerned.
Yeah.
And just grab a hold of my hand and I will introduce you all over the place. Um, it is so much. It's fun. We interact. There's a bar at the plaza, and we stay at the Plaza Motel right there on uh uh Fremont Street. We are literally right at where they do the what's that thing where you get on the zip line.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's where we're right at where they start the zip line, and you will never you'll never experience anything better than CAC.
So
I'm
you're
telling
telling
you.
me you'd take me by the hand and introduce me? That means you could introduce me to Liv Morgan.
If she's there, yes, I can do that.
You'll see me melt.
Oh, and I will have my damn phone on video.
Oh man.
And then I will expose you for the mark you are.
Oh man, I got such a crush on that woman.
I don't blame you. I mean,
Yeah,
I got a girl crush on Rhea,
I don't
and
blame you.
I mean,
I like Rhea.
you talk about a wrestler, you talk about a persona. We have something called the 3 count.
Hmm.
She's got all three. She can talk, she can walk, and she can wrestle.
Yeah,
And
but King Kong Bundy had the 5 count.
ah,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that means, the referee puts his hand down 5 times.
They can't count that high. It's hard for a referee to count to three. Are you kidding me?
I do have a Bundy here somewhere. He's in here. He's buried under there. They
Uh-huh.
re-released him too. Oh, look, I got
Really?
this.
Oh my Lord. See, I love the way those are made.
Yeah. Look
They're
at this
the
handsome man. Oh, look at that.
uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
His titties are bigger than mine.
You know who this is?
Cigar
No, that's
and
not a cigar.
no, actually I can't tell. I'll be honest. Who is that?
That's not a cigar. That's a green tongue.
Ah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I could fake this, but I'm gonna be honest. No, I don't recognize who that is.
Well, they don't show it here because they have it all one color. But I'll give you a hint. If they did it correctly, you'd see brown all over him to color his hair. Because he had
Lord
it
have mercy.
everywhere but his head.
Lord have mercy. No, I don't know. When did he wrestle?
He wrestled way back. He wrestled Bruno back in the day. He wrestled way up into the 80s. Big feud with
Ah,
Randy Savage. You're going to kick yourself.
I know I am. Go ahead.
This is George. George the Animal Steel.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yep. Hang on a minute.
There you go. It's
Yeah,
George.
and what's so funny is I know George, and I'm not recognizing his own gimmick. But the older you get, the more you forget.
Yeah, I just happened to see that there while I was looking for Bundy. But when you're looking for somebody, they're always at the bottom of the pile there somewhere.
That's right.
Oh, Bundy's down there some. Oh, I see Bundy. There we go. Bundy's one of those handsome guys. He's ready for
Oh
UN velvet.
God. Oh my God.
Oh
Ah,
yeah.
yeah. He needs to cut off the right shoulder strap. That way he can do an Andre the Giant suit.
There you go. He's ready. He's ready to go on a date with you and Velvet. Yeah, he's ready for the glamour girls.
Uh-huh. Well, I'll leave him to that.
So, when's the book coming out?
The book is debuting on, hang on.
Do you got it there? Show it on here while you're at it.
Oh, I don't.
Oh,
Actually, I
okay.
don't. The book is debuting on the 24th of this month,
Mm-hmm.
just a week away. The book is debuting just a week away on the 24th at the Gathering. Yes, we've had it on Amazon. It's there to buy. But if you wait and you come to the Gathering, you can get it autographed by myself as well as Tom Strasdis. And we've got the paperback, which is $30, the hardback, which is $45. And we're going to only have 46 paperbacks and 10 hardcovers. So if you want it, you better get there first thing Friday when the doors open.
And folks,
Um,
remember, if you want the special edition where she's got the chapter on the Iron Sheik and the chapter on
I
Jim
knew that
Cornette,
was. How
you
did
know
I
where you
not know that was coming?
where you hear all the sweet nothings that she only tells me about.
See,
Yeah,
he he's what is the word I'm looking for? Dyslexic. He's reading that backwards. It's not all of the sweet nothings. It's nothing sweet.
folks, I'm telling you the truth. She was on there online on Facebook looking for Jim Cornette to connect with. I know what's going on. Jim knows you dig him. Like what lady doesn't dig Jim Cornette? I guarantee you, Leilani Kai and Judy Martin, they probably get up thinking about Jim Cornette first thing in the morning.
Oh my God. My
Yes.
cheeks, my cheeks were hurting from grinning so loud tonight. God, I love you, Greg. You
Oh,
know,
I
if I
tried.
ever have a down day, I would be smart to call you and say, all
Yes.
right,
Oh,
let
gee. Yeah, call
let
me.
yeah, let's do a podcast and then I can, be this again.
Oh,
Love you,
I love
brother.
getting you going. It's a lot. It's a lot of fun. And like I said, I've done a few wrestling related interviews in the last year, like Barbara Goodrich came on here. I told her, I said, if there's a good way of getting Karma and Gonzalez there, all they have to do is invite him to a WrestleCon. And she said he'll never come to one of them. And I said, I know exactly why he won't come to one of those because the fans will take care of the problem.
Well, that they showed up at a WrestleCon.
Gonzalez did.
Not Gonzalez, the promoter, what's his name?
Oh, Carlos Colon.
Cologne.
Yeah.
Cologne and his boys showed up.
How
And see
guilty is he?
what a lot of what a what a lot of people don't understand. This was not an argument. This was not heat between two people. This was about money. Cologne, when he would, and I'm 65, I don't care. Show up at my door, Cologne. I got this. Um, Cologne showed up. But from what I understand is Cologne would have people like Bundy over there and then he couldn't pay them. So what he would do was give them a portion of the profits from all future matches. Well, he had not sent him anything, and he showed up looking for money.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
Who in the hell thinks it would take an hour for an ambulance to get to when a man's, and I'm sorry for being so gross, please, warning, get your children out of the room. When a man's intestines are laying on the shower floor and he's trying to put them back in, and it took an hour for the ambulance to arrive. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Gonzalez is a piece of shit. And I don't care if he hears this. What's he gonna do?
But what are they going to do? Fire me or eat me? I hope you
You
have a
know?
big fire. And by the way, I'm full of fat, so the meat will be,
Well, all I can
tasting
say
good.
is this Gonzalez character that invade well, who was it, Invader number one or something like that? Like I
Right,
said, I said, all he needs to do is show up at one of the WrestleCons and the fans will let him know, and I guarantee you he will job pretty darn quick.
right.
Yeah,
Um, and it's a shame. It
yeah,
is really a shame that over a few $1,000s, this man died.
yeah,
And there were three people there, American wrestlers, who stayed in their dressing room and would not walk into the shower room where he was laying on the ground trying to put his guts back inside.
Tony
And
Atlas was there, and
yes,
God bless Tony Atlas. He had to imagine the size of Bruiser Brody and Tony Atlas. You got to know
right,
how strong Tony Atlas is. He had to carry him out. You know, here's something I did hear. I heard that because Tony Atlas was very vocal about what happened.
right.
I guess I don't know whether it was Cologne or who it was sent people to Tony Atlas's hotel, and Tony
And
didn't know about it.
basically told him, shut up or die, your
Tony
choice.
wasn't there.
Thank God.
But all I could say to Carlos Colon is fuck off. That's what I would say to him.
Well, see, I went to, the one time I went to Puerto Rico was before this happened.
Uh-huh.
And, it was all easy going. Of course, Moolah had to book us at a hotel off the strip. Dude, we didn't have a TV or a phone. So I walked 2 blocks up, to the Hilton where the guys were at,
Hmm.
and the Ric Flair shark thing happened. I almost, when Pipe started doing dun 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 dun
The
dun dun.
Jaws.
Oh my God. I laid my head down on the table because if you looked out, Flair was on his back and the only thing you could see was his nose.
I have a question. I don't know if I asked this before, but did you know Bruiser Brody personally, Frank Goodish?
Um, we probably met, several times on the road.
Hmm.
I did get a message from Barbara and it made me cry that Bruiser Brody, I was his favorite female wrestler.
Oh, wow.
And it made me cry. It really did, because I mean, I have been the guys have treated me so well. And you keep hearing these horror stories from other women, but I'm not one of them. I mean, if I went to a territory and one of my brothers wasn't there, somebody got a phone call and they were, all right, you need to take Princess and her crew to the venue, then you need to take them to the right hotel. We were always taken care of on the road. And, to have somebody like him say that I was his favorite wrestler, and for Barbara to tell me that with pride, not jealousy, because that's who Barbara is,
I love Barbara.
she made me cry. And I can't even stretch her, because if I do, his ghost is going to come back and stretch me.
I'm going to tell you, like I said, I was very happy with that interview, but I I think that whole situation in Puerto Rico where he was murder in general doesn't need to happen. That did not need to happen, at all. So,
All Cologne had to do was pay him the money he owed him.
yeah.
This was not over a woman. This was not over clashing, personalities. This was over money. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know? And even if I was still in the business, I would never go to Puerto Rico again to support the clones. I wouldn't do it.
No. No, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But I was so happy to have her on here, and
Oh, yes.
I did tell her when I see if I see her at one of these events, I will give her a hug. You give her a hug for me though when you see her, definitely. Send her my love, of course. Yep.
Well, get start saving your money right now for next year for CAC, because it is something you will never forget. There, like I said, there's not a lot of fans. That's why I don't take any merchandise.
Yeah,
This is
but you know what?
all about wrestling.
I'm not going to see anything, you see, because if Liv Morgan's there, I'm going to faint.
That's okay. I'll make sure I drag you to where she's sitting so she can rest her feet on your head, and you can wake up. Mark, 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 Mark.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my. Have you got
and
to, you haven't got to meet Rhea Ripley, huh?
no, not yet.
I
But
think that'd be cool.
I love Rhea. I mean,
I've
she is
seen
so
photos.
she is so solid as a wrestler.
I've
She
seen
is.
photos where she would pick fans up in her arms, and I'm like, if I ever meet her, I'm gonna do that. I got to.
Yeah, you want to be baby cuddled, right?
Especially by a female wrestler. I don't think I'd
Yeah.
ask a male wrestler, but I would ask a female wrestler because there's just something about that reverse dynamic that appeals to me, you know?
God's gotta love you, Greg, because I do. Uh, Maybe we need to kind of get together and try to get Liv and Rhea in the same room, and then we can both go, hi, 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 how are you? Because we
I
are
think,
both going to be freaking marked out.
yeah. I gotta wonder though, I know you got a Roddy Piper figure there, but I gotta wonder if you I mean, I know the truth about this, it's probably in your book. That one closet, if you open it up, all those Iron Sheik figures that will fall out. I mean, how many
Brat.
of these do you have? Seriously.
16 or 17 right now. I'm just sitting them in a compartment until they get up to the price that I want to sell
Oh, you're not gonna sell those. No.
them. All right, darling, I need to go outside, do a little
Why?
work for this because I'm thumping you in the nose in case you can't see it. I have got to turn on the water gardens and all that because I'm leaving here in 3 days.
You know
And
what? You
I
know how
am,
Jim Cornette turns on the water? He's just naturally stimulating.
boy, you ain't right, and you know you ain't right.
Well, folks, what you learned today is that Princess Victoria is a mark for Rhea Ripley,
Yes,
and I'm a mark for Liv Morgan. And we all know that Princess Victoria's got a special edition book where, you're going to hear about all of her sweet nothings about the Iron Sheik and how she wanted to like twirl that mustache of his, and you know, and her love for Jim Cornette and those suspenders and the tennis racket. Can,
you stop.
can you imagine if Velvet McIntyre did come on here?
Oh my God. No, the one, okay, now Velvet and I traveled the road for years together.
Uh-huh.
And her and I never, ever had a disagreement or an argument. But if you bring that up, brother, you're on your own. I'm stepping away and leaning up against the wall and going, uh huh, dumbass.
Well, I'm honored she added me on Facebook.
You,
I,
yeah, and I don't say this without, without, uh, for Velvet to add you without checking with me, that says a lot about you, brother. That
oh,
says a lot.
well, every once in a while, I think she had a big sideboard full of cookies that she had baked or something.
Oh my God, yes. The
And I made
woman,
a comment. I said, Jim Cornette is looking forward to receiving these or something like that.
oh my God. Oh my God. You made her laugh.
I hope so. I
Yo,
hope so.
obviously she did because she reached out and tagged you. Obviously you made her laugh.
Yeah.
And like I said, she told me I have to be her spy eyes out here in the real world. But for her to add you and not even talk to me, that says a lot.
Well, like I said, I've been a fan of Velvet's for since I think the first time I seen her was that first Survivor Series. She was on Moolah's team in that match. And she eliminated two of the five participants on the other side in that elimination match. So, yeah.
Right.
So,
Velvet Velvet was and is one hell of a wrestler.
and one of the people she
And
eliminated was Sherry, and Sherry was the champion,
oh
and Sherry
God.
was the team captain. So,
Well, that tells you a lot. Ugh, I'm sorry. I've got hiccups.
I know you're
Uh
nervous about all this Iron Sheik Jim Cornette
look,
talk. I know.
You're too cute for your own good. Dude, I gotta get off here because I gotta go water the garden. Thank you so much for having me on again.
I'm
I
always happy
mean,
to have you on.
well, you're always fun for me too.
Yeah.
So it's a two-way street. And
Well,
like I
yeah.
said, I gotta go out in the yard, turn some sprinklers on, and we will talk very soon.
Jim
Okay?
Cornette's turning sprinklers on. He just does that because that's natural stimulation. He walks out and they naturally are turned on. Just like all the women wrestlers are all turned on by Jim Cornette. You know how it is.
Ah, and what kind of drugs are they on?
You think
I
the glamour girls wouldn't come at him and try to get those suspenders so they could have Jim Cornette memorabilia if they seen him? I bet they would.
oh my god. My cheeks are hurting so bad, Greg. Stop. I will talk to you soon.
We absolutely will. Absolutely. I gotta order one of your books. Be patient with me on that, but
Yes, sir.
because I'm preparing for a couple cons, so but
Okay.
I definitely gotta
Well,
order that book.
or tell everybody to order it from me
Hmm.
because I will autograph it personally to them, and it'll go from there. All right.
And folks, if you say that you're the Iron Sheik, she'll autograph it twice.
Good night, Greg.
Good night, Princess Victoria. I love you very much.
That's a two-way street. I love you too, Greg. I
Uh,
will talk to you very
and
soon,
we both
okay?
love Velvet McIntyre.
Ah, nobody can help loving Velvet.
Yeah,
All right. I'll talk to you soon, brother. Night.
absolutely. God bless.
Love you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.